Okay, I am candidate Hugh Chomentowski from the Berkely Officer Selection Team, and I graduated from Cal Poly Humboldt. I graduated with a degree in finance in December of last year. I go to OCC this May, on May 27th, to 243. Yes, Sergeant. My grandfather was a Marine Corps pilot. He flew F-8s, most notably during the Cuban Missile Crisis in Guantanamo Bay, and growing up, he was a father figure to me, and I spent a lot of time with him. His house was always decorated with F-8s and Marine Corps memorabilia, and he lived his life with the values that the Marine Corps instilled in him, and that made me really proud of the man who he was. And so growing up, that's pretty much all that I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to fly, but more importantly, I knew I wanted to be a Marine. And just being here, especially the past 2 days, it has only solidified that why I want to be a Marine. I mean, the culture that surrounds this entire Camp Pendleton, and just like the hard work from all the sergeant instructors and meeting all the other candidates that are passionate to be Marines. It really shows like how large this brother and sisterhood is. And more importantly, as an officer, I would be very, very proud to be able to lead some of the enlisted Marines that I have met in my past few days at Camp Pendleton. So I'm an air contract for 243, and yes, Sergeant, like I said, my grandfather, he flew F-8s in the Marine Corps, and he, growing up, he took me in glider planes, and he really solidified my love for flying. And for a while, it was kind of a boyhood pipe dream. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to be a fighter pilot. I looked a lot into it. I did a lot of research. It's a difficult pipeline, but I just worked really hard in school. I got my physical fitness up, and I did everything I could to secure an air contract. And I'm looking forward to OCS and TBS and making it to Pensacola for pre-flight and knife. I started the Officer Candidate program in June of 2022 with Captain Futch out of the Berkely Officer Selection Team. Yeah, I was a non-select on the November board, and obviously that was difficult. It's never easy taking rejection right that. But in my mind, this is the only path for me. And so there was no deviating. I had people asking me that aren't very familiar with the military, maybe why don't you try Navy, why don't you try Air Force? But to me, it's being a Marine officer first. And so I knew that as soon as I got the call from Captain Johnson that I was a non-select in November, the first thing I told him that I would be on that board in March, and I would work my hardest to boost my package so that the board could look at my package and see that I'm really working hard to get on, to be an officer candidate. If it's their dream, just keep pushing. I mean, there's gonna be plenty of mental blocks and people telling you you can't do it. And at OCS, it's no different. We're not gonna be getting coddled as candidates. We're gonna be getting work to the bone. And we're probably gonna be being told we're not good enough or we failed. And a lot of officer candidates are collegiate athletes. And like for me, I've never really failed anything in my life. So just knowing that drive and keeping that mentality, knowing that I'm going to fail and I'm going to hit roadblocks. But if it's working towards a dream that I've always had in my mind since I was a child, then it's going to be worth it every step of the way. Yeah, Mini-OCS is, it's a weekend where officer candidates from all different selection offices across California come to Camp Pendleton, and they get about 30 hours of taste of what OCS is really like. And we get to work with sergeant instructors that work in Quantico and work with actual officer candidates during OCS or PLCs. And yeah, it's no joke, it's hard. I'm not sure what I was expecting. I don't have, I'm not prior enlisted. I was in ROTC, and so I'm coming in a total civilian, and it's been difficult, but just seeing the resilience among all the other officer candidates, it's incredible. I'm surrounded by maybe, just in my squad bay, 40 other men, and across all of the officer OCS Mini-OCS week, just there's no quit on any of those officer candidates' faces. They all want to lead Marines, they all want to be Marine officers. officers, and that's inspiring. And coming into a situation like this, I don't know how you couldn't like hold your head high and want to work hard for those other officer candidates surrounding you. What challenged me the most, I would probably say, man, that's tough. A lot of it was challenging. Just staying within myself. I mean, we're constantly moving. It's non-stop, and we're doing a bunch of different activities, and it's like I said, we're working really hard. And it'd be easy to get in my head and be like, maybe this isn't for me. I went all this way, and I came here expecting something else. Maybe I made a mistake, but yeah, just staying resilient, staying strong, making sure to work with my sergeant instructors, do everything they tell me to do, and help out my other officer candidates when they need it as well. Work hard, get your PFT up, and come to Mini-OCS for sure. If someone came up to me and was like, I want to be a Marine Corps officer, I'm really looking into it, I'd tell them to immediately get with an officer selection office. And that's another thing I really find fantastic about the Marine Corps, and with the utmost respect for other services, they don't have officer selection officers like the Marine Corps does. And for example, Captain Johnson, he works tirelessly day and night working for us to get us selected. He learns about who we are, who our family is, what our goals are, our past, and that's just, they were so, the Berkely selection team was so helpful every step of the way in the process. And so reiterating my point, if someone were to come up to me and say, hey, what do I need to do? What's your best advice to become a Marine Corps officer? Yeah, just get in the mindset, stay resilient, and get in contact with your officer selection team, because they're really gonna help you out.